Hey guys, welcome to another video, and today we are going to discuss about the schedule that you need to follow to for OPCSO examination. Okay, so what are the key benefits of this timetable? I have designed this table according to the available number of hours for working and non-working aspirants. Okay, equal weightage has been given to all the subjects that so that no part of your preparation is neglected. See, irrespective of the number of hours that is available to you in a day, you need to give equal weightage to all the subjects. Otherwise, in the examination, your performance will be very disbalanced. You cannot have 70 questions answered in GS paper and 20 questions in maths. It cannot be possible. So if you want a good rank in the examination, then you have to give equal weightage to all the subjects, irrespective of your area of strength or weakness. Okay. So the third point is maximum utilization hours to increase your efficiency. See, everybody has 24 hours, but it is very important that how much hour you are dedicatedly giving to this preparation. Okay, whether you are utilizing your maximum potential, that is very important. So I have kept that in mind. The fourth point is subject-wise time allocation includes revision hour, which will strengthen the memorization and efficiency. See, every subject has certain part which has to be memorized. For example, in GS paper, everything has to be memorized. But in Odia or English, the language paper, you have to at least remember the grammatical rules. Similarly, in maths and reasoning, you have to remember tricks or mathematical formula. So every subject has certain part which has to be memorized and which needs number of revisions. So this is very important that every day before you start on new subjects or new chapters, you need to recall all those things that you covered last yesterday or day before yesterday. That is very important. So every time allocation has certain amount of revision hour. Okay, so the next point is weekly performance evaluation. So every week whatever you cover, so that needs to be evaluated in the weekends, so that you can plan for the next week, or you can at least identify which are the weak areas, or in which areas I need to focus more to balance my performance. So that's very important. Performance evaluation, constant performance evaluation is very important. Proper balance between health, mind and study, this is the most neglected part of an aspirant, because when we prepare for the examination, we are so desperate about getting a job that we neglect our health. We study till late in the night, till 2 a.m. in the morning, and we neglect our food, our sleep. Our health is neglected. So ultimately, by the time you reach to the examination, your performance is affected because you have neglected your health for so many days. Okay, so this is very important that you, while you are preparing a timetable, that you should keep time for your health, for your mind, because nourishment of your health and mind only enhances your performance in the examination. So this is also very important. You should eat healthy, you should do some meditation, or you should do some exercises to keep your mind and body healthy. Okay, then the seventh point is gives you discipline, regularity, which is very important. See, this is one of the most uh, identified problems of an aspirant. Like, people are there which they invest 8 hours a day for 1 week, and after that it gets discontinued. They start diverting their hours to some other activity, or something they do, so that their number of hours what they used to invest in the first week of their preparation, that gets reduced. Okay, so regularity and discipline is very important. If you are preparing a timetable and if you are continuously rigorously following it, then only the end result will be great for you. Otherwise, you cannot expect a very good result for yourself in the examination. Okay, so these are the basic 7 key benefits of this timetable, and this timetable has been very carefully designed. So let's just go to the timetable and see how it has been designed and whether it suits you or not. So you can see that there are two tabs: non-working aspirants and working aspirants, with 8 hours of job. Okay, So we will cover one by one. So first is for non-working aspirants. See here, these are the days, and these are the days, and if you see that these are the time allocations. Okay, so there are people who study in night, but I think I would suggest you that waking up early in the morning and going to bed by 10 or 10:30 at night is actually good for your health, your mind, because that's the sleeping hour. You should not utilize that for study and all. Your brain will not be that active. However, it may vary from person to person according to their preference, but this is how I have designed a table, designed this timetable, and you can always modify it according to your own preference. Okay, so let's just see this. So from 5:30 in the morning to 6 you have your morning rituals. Then 6 to 7 you should do some healthy activity. You go to some gym or do yoga or meditation, whatever. 1 hour in a day you should give to your health and mind, so that it will always be active throughout the day. Then from 7 to 8 you cover current affairs. Initial 15 minutes you recall, as I said initially, that 15 minutes of your hour, you are diverting this hour to current affairs. You are investing 1 hour in current affairs, so you should exactly have a timer in front of you, and for 15 minutes you should try to recall what you studied yesterday or day before yesterday. Then for 45 minutes you study new things. Okay, then you keep it down. Then in next day when you start again current affairs, then you revise what you study today and yesterday. So similarly, this is how it continues. Okay, then GS 1 hour, then you take a break of half an hour, then 1 hour English. Similarly, 15 minutes grammatical rule revision, and then for 45 minutes you were studying new things. Then practice for 1 hour. Practice means you can practice from previous year question, or you can practice from some reliable app like ADA 247 or GradeUp or whatever. You have different sources to practice. I have mentioned that in my ebook, and you should practice for 1 hour. Okay, then you have break, then have lunch, and the rest from 2 p.m. onwards you practice quantitative aptitude. Previous chapter you need to practice 1 hour, and 1 hour for new chapters. Okay, every day. After 2 months or 3 months there will be no new chapters. So after 2 months of preparation there will be no new chapters. So you can entirely invest these 2 hours in practice only. Okay, then take a break of half an hour, then go for ODI grammar. Similarly, 15 minutes revision, previous revision, and 45 minutes, not 45 minutes, actually it's 4:30 to 6, almost 1.5 hours. So 1 hour 15 minutes for new things and 15 minutes for revision. Okay, then break, then reasoning for 1 hour. Then you can practice mock. Mock means small mocks. 60 question, you pick up any random 60 question and you try to solve it within 60 question. It doesn't have to be a mix of every subject, but you pick 60 question of quantitative aptitude, or pick 60 question of reasoning or English or ODIA or GS, whatever is available. Just keep it in mind that I have to complete those 60 questions within 60 minutes. That's what the whole activity is all about. Then YouTube, I have kept this 1 hour for YouTube ADA 24/7. This is 24/7. I'll rectify this, not 25 27 into 7, 24/7. Quiz, newspaper. So you why I've kept this hour, that while reading newspaper, people always do, they read newspaper in the morning. Don't do that. Newspaper has lot many garbage than what it is actually relevant from examination point of view. So do not go through the newspaper in detail. Only which is examination, which is important from examination point of view, you should cover that from newspaper. Okay, you can practice quizzes from ADA 24/7, or you can watch YouTube video which is teaching you or some new technique or trick in reasoning or quantitative aptitude or English or whatever. then you have dinner and go to bed. By 10:30 you should be in your bed. Okay, so next day all things are similar, same. It continues for 6 days, and on seventh day, on Sunday, uh, there is little bit of variance, because you need to, as I said, performance evaluation. You need to only give mocks, and you need to evaluate yourself. So initial 2 hours here, mocks, giving mock and evaluation. Then you are giving mock for English, then quantity aptitude, then you watch a movie or chill out, because you have utilized the entire week. You are continuously busy, so you keep 2 to 3 hours for your entertainment. Then you should plan for the next week, like in what subject, uh, which part of the subject I need to cover, or what chapters I need to cover next week. In individual subjects you need to plan it very carefully, you need to plan it. Then the same thing, okay. And the next week you can, in place of English, you can appear a mock of Odia. Then in place of quant you can go for reasoning, and the same thing continues. So if you see that effective utilization hours, like how many hours you are actually studying. So in weekdays 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 1.5 hours, so almost 9.5 to 10 hours you are studying in weekends. So it comes around 57 to 60 hours. Weekends 5.5 hours. So total utilization in a week is 64 on an average. So your utilization percentage is around 40%. So this is a very good percentage. As I said in my earlier videos also, your utilization percentage has to be optimized to give a good performance in the examination. Okay, so this is all about the timetable for non-working aspirants. So for the working aspirants, see, I have kept this from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the evening, from 9 a.m. in the morning to 7 p.m. in the evening. I have kept this area blank, so that you have a full-time job, you are going to office and you are coming back to home, you need some relaxation time, maybe half an hour after that. So I have kept it blank almost, even if I have considered that you have a full-time 8 hour of job, but almost 10 hours, if you see here, I have kept it blank. You don't need to bother about this. So let's start. So from 5:30 to 6 you have morning rituals. From 6 to 6:30 you are doing some healthy activity to keep your mind and body healthy. And from 6:30 to 7:30 you are covering current affairs. From 7:30 to 9 English, almost 1.5 hours. Then from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. reasoning, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. maths, and 9 to 10 p.m. you are doing those improvement activities like YouTube. You are practicing from either 24/7, or you are reading newspaper and collecting some relevant news from examination point of view. And on the next day, in place of current affairs, you are going from general studies, the static part. In place of English, you are going for ODI. And reasoning math, as it needs more practice, so it continues. So this continues for entire 6 days. And on the 7th day, on Sunday, you need to give mocks and evaluate your performance. So 2.5 hours English, you are giving mock of general studies. You are doing some revision also in this. And for 2 hours you are going for English and ODI test, full length tests. And for from 3 to 5 you are giving tests for quantity aptitude or reasoning. Then these 2 hours you can invest to have some you have weak area, you have neglected something in the week, then you cover that. You have this 2 hour of window. Then 1 hour also you can plan for the next week in these hours. And in the last hour you can go for YouTube or other 24/7 or newspaper. Okay, then you are going to bed and you're having dinner and going to bed. So if you see that your utilization percentage is almost 21 to 22%, so which is pretty good for a working aspirant. So you don't need to bother that the non-working aspirant they are studying more, so their performance is going to be better. It's not like that, whatever hour you are investing, that needs to be mindful, that needs to be very very rigorous, and that needs to be very very attentively you should invest. You not to just stick to the timetable, you just need to be focused in those hours, and your focused preparation is also enough to crack the examination. Okay, don't need to bother about it. So this was all about the timetable, and I think this is a pretty good and optimized timetable to achieve a good score in the examination. And if you follow this for almost 1 month, then you will see a significant improvement in your performance. Uh, and you just let me know in the comment section that whether you think this is a good timetable or not, or after using 1 month also you can put a review of this timetable, whether it is working for you or not, or you need some changes, or you had to do some kind of modification in the table to have an effective timetable. So that's it from my side for today, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.